Hey everybody, Blind Shooter checking back in. Hope you all doing good. Today's video is going to be my take on the hashtag Visually Impaired Person Challenge. And for those of you that don't know what that is, about a month or so ago, someone came up with a bunch of questions to help educate the sighted people on what it's like to be blind and the different types of blindness there are out there. And at the end of the video, you got to tag someone who's also blind and have them do it to help further educate everyone on the lifestyle of being blind. I was tagged by Patriot in the Dark. He's another blind YouTuber. He does a lot of Second Amendment videos. He goes very descriptive and also puts out his own challenges to get sighted people to try and get a feel for what it's like to be blind. So if you haven't already done so, go over and subscribe to his channel. Alright, so without further ado, I'm going to go over my answers to these questions. They're in no particular order, so if you've watched another video and notice I'm jumping around, don't hold it against me. Okay, question number one is, what kind of condition do I have? And I was born with an inherited retinal disease called Leber's congenital amaurosis, or LCA for short. There's multiple types of LCA. The one I have gives me limited sight, but eventually as time goes on, it's going to be taken away from me. The best way I can describe what it's like having it is picture driving through or looking through heavy fog, but if you look up, down, left or right, you have clear picture. Sounds kind of freaky, but I make do with it. Second question is, do I use a white cane, guide dog, or nothing at all? If you've been following my channel, you know I used to have a guide dog, but he since has been medically retired, and right now I'm just using the white cane. But I am on a waiting list to get another guide dog, and hopefully I should have one within the next 2 to 3 months. Next question is, what is one good thing about being blind? One good thing about being blind is I don't have to wait online at sporting events, concerts, anything like that. Usually once staff members see the white cane, they tend to, have a little bit of sympathy, and they put me right to the front of the line. Also helps during TSA checkpoints. Also, when I'm walking through the airports, police officers see the white cane, and they tend to open up the roundabout ropes that you all have to go through. So instead of me waiting on that long line, I'll go right through. I got my own little private screener. I just go through a quick pat down for whatever reason. I guess I look like a member of ISIS to these people, but either way, I don't got to wait in a long line. I get to go and walk around the airport for myself while the rest of you have to go through TSA. So, sucks to be you. The next question is, what's one bad thing about being blind? And I'm going to have to say that's got to be discrimination. For whatever reason, a lot of sighted people think that just because you're blind, you can't do the same things they do. And to an extent, they're right. I mean, we can't drive cars, we can't fly airplanes yet. But other than that, we can do the same things as sighted people. We just do them slightly differently. And that includes myself. Next question after that was, what are 2 words that describe my condition, or that I like to use to describe my condition? And that would be lucky and fortunate. I consider myself lucky and fortunate because you sighted people have to see with your eyes, whereas I get to observe the world through hearing, my hands, and my heart. And I'm fortunate because I heard that there's a lot of ugly people out there. For example, that Schmeagle looking thing that's a Kardashian. Apparently used to be a guy, now it's a girl, or Cousin It. Some kind of weird looking creature. A lot of people have talked about it in the past. So I'm grateful I don't gotta look at that one. Okay, the next question is, what's one piece of advice you would give to a fellow blind person? Excuse me. One piece of advice I would give would be, define your disability, don't let it define you. If you want to go out and do something, do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. You might have to find different ways of doing it, but that's okay. adapt, overcome. After that, the following question was, what's one piece of advice you would give to sighted people about those who are blind? And the best way I can give advice to the sighted folks would be, blind people are like guns. It's okay to look at them, but ask before touching. Because if you touch without asking, we're going to go off on you and it's not going to end well for you. And the final question is, what's one question I get asked a lot as a blind person? And the question I tend to get asked the most is, what can I see? Now, if I'm in a good mood and I want to give you the serious answer, I tell you what I went over in question number 1 as to, it's like looking through fog, but if you look above, below, left and right, you get to see pretty much clear. If I'm feeling like a smartass for the day now, I usually tell people that I see dead people, and it's kind of hilarious watching their reactions when you tell them that you can see dead folks. Okay, after answering the questions, we're supposed to tag another blind person, but the only blind person I know besides Matt from Blind to Billionaire is Patriot in the Dark, and I believe both of them did the challenge, so if you're visually impaired and you're watching this, go ahead, do the challenge. I just tagged you. Until next time, God bless the United States, and don't ever apologize for being American. Catch you later.